I am Jodi Stone, and I read No Exit, the play by Jean-Paul Sartre. No Exit is a play that emulates the philosophical ideology of existentialism. Three damned souls, Garson, Inez, and Estelle, are sentenced to live with one another in hell and afterlife as a result of their heinous actions on earth. An uncanny valet escorts them each to the secluded room in which they will all live with one another for eternity. Valet is a taciturn representation of the devil. Garson, Inez, and Estelle are put with one another as a form of torture, negating the conception of instruments of torture. Two of the characters do not, at first, admit their reason for eternal damnation. Garson claims it is because he is a pacifist, yet it is because of the mistreatment of his wife. Estelle asserts that her being there has been a mistake, yet she cheated on her husband and drowned her illegitimate baby. Inez declares that they all must come forth with their fate and states that she seduced her cousin's wife while living with them. Inez attempts to seduce Estelle, and both of the damned women endeavors to seduce Garson, while he does, to some degree, in return as well. Garson is given the option to leave, yet declines without the approval of Inez. In the concluding scene, Estelle tries to kill Inez with a paper knife, forgetting that death is already upon them, and Garson articulates, "Hell is other people." Jean-Paul Sartre was an extremely influential writer and, more so, philosopher of the 20th century. Sartre believed that philosophical arguments were most persuasive when presented as fiction, such as in the play of No Exit. He was interested in the nature of freedom, time, existence, responsibility, and consciousness. As a result, Sartre helped develop a philosophical movement called existentialism. He defined existentialism as the doctrine that existence precedes essence. Sartre distinguished between inanimate objects and human consciousness. Like Albert Camus, war and tragedy influenced many of Sartre's ideas. Number 3. The number 3 is prominent throughout No Exit, especially in the aspect of Garson, Estelle, and Inez. According to Foster, the number 3 traditionally represents the Holy Trinity. In No Exit, this is quite the opposite and, instead, represents 3 aspects of existentialism that cause damnation of the soul. This anti-Foster occurrence heightens the effect of existentialism on the characterization of each character. Vampire figures. Garson articulates that hell is other people, demonstrating that each of the characters is a vampire to the other. Confirmed through Inez's statement that each of them will act as a torturer of the 2 others, demonstrating an economy of manpower or devil power. Also, Valet is a vampire to Garson, Estelle, and Inez due to his lack of action in regards to the bell ringing. Sight. There are many accounts of sight throughout No Exit, creating allusions to the Greek myth of Oedipus. There are no mirrors in the room in hell that the characters are placed in. As a result, the characters cannot see themselves, yet can see one another. They are blinded in regards to themselves, meaning they know the aberrant actions committed, as Oedipus did once he was blinded. They are visible to one another, meaning they do not know the extent of disparity that was endured. Number 6. The number 6 is frequent in No Exit and is pertinent to the ramification of the setting of hell. The number 7 indicates earthly matters, as 4 represents the earth and 3 signifies the Holy Trinity. 6 is 1 less than 7, dictating the setting of No Exit to be 1 below earthly matters, or hell. This interpretation of number 6 follows existentialism, as the actions committed by the characters in the number 7 has caused them to be impinged down to number 6. Characterization is the main literary element, especially in the aspect that it pertains to existentialism. In depth, existentialism is a philosophical theory or approach that emphasizes the existence of the individual person as a free and responsible agent, determining their own development through acts of the will. People must choose their own purpose. Life is meaningless. We define ourselves by living, which puts meaning to the war impact of Sartre. One must live to their own rules. Life is filled by obligations dictated by society. The characterization of each character directly correlates to and emulates the ideologies associated with existentialism, the intended purpose of the play. An example, each of the characters gave their life meaning through villainous, scandalous, and flagrant actions. As a result, their circumstances caused them to be damned in hell, and each of their lives continue to be meaningless because they consistently wish to attain the obligations that society has dictated. I would give No Exit an 8 on the literary scale. No Exit immensely exceeds the superficial level of commercial literature and delves deep into fosterization. Furthermore, No Exit explores the study of human nature through the ideologies of existentialism. I would give No Exit a 6 on the readability scale. While it is not an exorbitantly difficult read, the research and understanding of existentialism is pertinent in order to procure the full effect that Sartre intended for the play. In consequence, existentialism does not prove to be a facile philosophical regard to grasp, and, therefore, gives No Exit the higher mark on the readability scale. I highly recommend No Exit. Even though the plotline lacks action, the philosophical significance behind the play is phenomenal, intriguing, and compelling. No Exit enables the opening of eyes to an anomalous, deviating perspective that all should be exposed to.